Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the fifth international webinar organized by IM group of researchers to address the common challenges faced by the students during thesis writing encompassing bachelor's, MPhil and PhD levels. The session emphasized key points to help students avoid issues in their research paper. The IM group of researchers is a research platform aims to foster collaboration among young and passionate researchers, providing a space for sharing ideas and working on a groundbreaking research articles. We create an atmosphere where like-minded individuals can come together and change the world through their research. Through national and international conferences, we offer a stage for experts to share their findings, insights, and knowledge, and engage in a meaningful conversation with the industry leaders. We are happy to share that our organization, IM Group of Researchers, completed 1 year journey. During this time, we arranged 3 international conferences, 4 webinars, and 1 course, and also participated in social work. Currently, we are working on 19 review articles with the 95 authors. You can visit our website. I am group of researchers committed to excellence. The director I am group of researcher is Dr. Adnan, assistant professor at University of Sawat. Dr. Fahmida Jabi, the executive director I am group of researchers, assistant professor in chemical sciences from Bahauddin Zakaria University, Multan. I'm your host, Safia Khan, MPhil chemistry graduate from Benazir University, Peshawar, teaching online, offline at different academies. So let's welcome our webinar with the holy verses of Quran. I would like to request Abdullah, please join us and recite few verses of Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to announce a remarkable speaker of our webinar. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Noor Fateh Atiya, a renowned researcher and expert in the field of chemistry, to share his invaluable insights on the topic of effective research strategies for thesis writing. With an impressive academic background and excellent research experience, Dr. Noor Atiya is an associate professor at Chemistry Division, National Institute of Standards. His research contributions are in the field of nanochemistry, energy storage, water treatments, gas separation, flame retardancy, sensors, and greenhouse gases capture. Dr. Noor Atiya has more than 75 international publications with a high impact factor, presented in more than 40 international conferences. Dr. Noor Atiya published 6 international patents, 2 USA, 4 Korean. His highest index is 29 and has been awarded several national and international prizes such as State Prize, NIS Prize, Medal of Excellence from the First Class from President of the Republic 2020 and Obeda Prize. He has been selected as a member of the Egyptian Young Academy of Sciences for 2021 to 2024 and a member of National Committee of New and Advanced Materials 2022 to 2025. We are privileged to have Dr. Noor Atiya as a guest speaker. He will shed light on the exciting world of research-based careers and share valuable insights into methodologies that drive innovation. So, Dr. Nuratia, now it's over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for your introductions, and I'm happy to be with all of you today regarding this webinar topics actually, because writing strategy is very, very important to demonstrate what you have. Okay, so first of all of you select to work in academia, right? So this is your choice. Otherwise, you can work in company or industry or something. So in order to make a fingerprint in this field, you have to do something the people need it, right? Otherwise, if you are just doing something to have a degree, just master degree, PhD degree, and you didn't do anything important, then please resign or change your career. So there's a many crises the people right now all over the world they suffer from it. We have an environmental pollution crisis. We have right now climate change, and every couple of years we have COP27, COP26, COP28, and so on. And we have a water crisis, we have a food crisis, we have a health crisis, we have an energy crisis. For all of you have to put some input to solve one of these crises, even directly or indirectly. Your thesis or your paper should solve something, should do something, should add some value. Okay, so if you are working in Pakistan right now, right? I'm working in Egypt, right? And you do something very important. You make a breakthrough on something, right? And I want to build in this. And if you didn't present that work in good way, that can I understand that in Egypt when I read the paper, then it will be also not useful. Okay, so means if you do very good work, very nice, but you didn't have the skills, the good skills to showing what is the importance of the work and what you do, and what is the key elements you are using to interpret that work in your writing way. So it will not be beneficial for us, right? So it's very, very important that how you show your results, how you highlight your positive finding, especially we are in science, right? So there's an energy crisis, and I right now I will just summarize about the important topic, the important research topic over the world, the people working in, right? So you have an energy crisis. So what's the problem is the fossil fuels using in huge amounts, in huge emissions of greenhouse gases. That's we have environmental pollution crisis, and even the fossil fuels have some problems because it's limited stock. So what the people doing to solve this problem? The people trying to find out a renewable clean source of energy. So the people trying to find out solar energy, but the problem is the efficiency is not good, and the battery is not good, and the battery is still the dilemma for commercializations of solar energy. That's why the people try to find out another way, prescribes and some other issue, and try to find some other way of the battery also, because battery is not good till now. I mean, for commercial stage, not paper stage, what I mean. And the people is working in hydro energy, the geothermal energy, biomass energy, hydrogen energy, and each kind of energy still have some technical dilemma. And the people working in, for example, hydrogen, still the people not working in hydrogen because the green hydrogen production still have some challenge because it's too much expensive, and also the storage of the hydrogen and the transportation of the hydrogen is a very, 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 very headache. So the people working very hard to solve these problems. About the water crisis, is what the people working in this area of all, it's still clean water, pure water is still have a shortage over the world. So what the people trying? The people trying in both way. The first way is to input new clean water, right? And this way by using water desalinations, and still this is have some challenge for developing some membrane or air reverse osmosis and so on. So still the people just increase the amount of the clean water by using desalinations of the seawater, and this also many challenges still, and the people is still working in it. And the other way is to recycle the wastewater, even the agriculture wastewater, industrial wastewater. It doesn't matter, any wastewater, to make a recycling. So this recycling have a both way, even to make a removal for the organic or inorganic pollutant from the sea, from the waters, and using again, or degradations of the organic pollutant, even pharmaceutical end product or agriculture waste and so on. So still there's a huge challenge in this area to make a commercials, because for example, for the degradations or food degradations, you call the photocatalytic degradations, and people right now have a challenge to use a visible range, not UV range, because UV range you need the energy and means you need the money. So and the other one for the absorption or removal from the seawater or wastewater, they also need some stable absorbent, which you can use a different pH, because the effluent from the factory or from the agriculture waste has different pH and has different temperatures and a different environment. So you need to develop some new reusable absorbent, antimicrobial also, because it have to inhibition the growth of the bacteria, because wastewater means a lot of bacteria and fungi is working on. Okay. So the other way is a food crisis, and the food crisis, not only people working in agriculture is working in food crisis or solving the problem. No, not only these people, also the engineering, also the material science, the chemist, all the people, because there's something in genetic engineering, means the people working in this to develop some new generations of seeds or something, and the other people working into how to preserve the food. Because, for example, in my country, I'm from Egypt, so most of our food exported, imported, I mean, from outside. So means it takes a lot, like chocolate and so on. It takes a lot of times to come. So in order to keep the food in good way, you have to have a good food packing systems, right? So this is also big issue the people working in it, because once is a bacteria or any other fungi is working on, then the food will be spoiled. And there's a big area actually. The people still have a big challenge, and even after the dilemma of climate change have been come on the surface, most of the seeds have not capability to survive in the this condition. So there's a huge burden on the scientists working in the agricultures to develop new generations have the capability to survive and to grow in different conditions and in sea waters and also and such kind of things. Environmental pollution, this is means this is the same the other face of the energy crisis, because energy crisis and environmental pollution crisis is two faces for the same coin. So if we could solve the problems by finding some clean renewable source of energy, this means there's no zero emissions of the greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide. But the problem is, in order to get that, it will not come in one day or in 10 years or in 20 years. It take a lot of time. Switching on to renewable energy, it will take a lot of times, because still there's a huge challenge in the implementations of the clean energy, even in different energy, even hydrogen energy, wind energy, biomass energy, still solar energy, still there's a technical dilemma for the cost for that. Although then what the people doing? Then the people start to make mitigations to the environmental pollutions by captures of the main greenhouse gases. So we have three gases or four gases of the greenhouse gases. We have a carbon dioxide, we have a nitrous oxide, we have a hydrogen sulfide, we have a methane. This is the main greenhouse gases, right? But carbon dioxide is around 76%. So what the people of the world are doing right now is they're trying to find some way to capture the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, okay, and even keep it and store as a calcium carbonate in the bottom of the ocean, or utilize to get other organic and useful material like methane. So there's a two way of greenhouse capture, of carbon dioxide capture, even pre-combustion captures or post-combustion capture. Post-combustion means you have to capture the carbon dioxide at ambient temperature and ambient pressures from the flow gas, okay, created from the factory or from our power plant issues. All pre-combustions means you have to capture the carbon dioxide from the syngas. This is in mainly in the industry, in the petroleum industry, uh, and this could be at room temperature and the high pressure, like 35 bar or something. Still, also there's a many challenge to have materials to absorb and dissolve huge amount of carbon dioxide, and they use it for at ambient conditions or working conditions. Still, the people working in this area using different material with different techniques, and even I would like to tell you something very important. Sometimes you have a good paper, right? You work very hard, you with your professor, with your colleagues, or with your some other collaborator from abroad, from United States, from UK, from either another place, and finally you get a good paper in advanced material or JAX or something. But the results in this paper, it could not be achieved or implemented for at least the new 50 years. So this is okay. It's okay to do that because this will help for the fundamental understanding of the phenomena. Yeah, the basic science needs such kind of papers, but you have to dedicate it some of your time to improve the life of the people in the street. Right now you are on the campus, right, in the university, and there's a campus of university, and there's a normal people, normal Pakistani people walking in the street, yeah, selling, working the farm, and these people is very humble people, and they need somebody to improve their life. And by your achievement, your development, some cost-effective materials, cost-effective technology, you will help definitely them. So you need to dedicate some of your time for something, and there's something not much novel to publish in high impact factor journal. Even it's not much novel to publish even at international paper, but it's very good to help the people, to help the economy, right? This is very important. This is very important to young generation to put this in to orient the mind. Finally, it's not good just you are working, for example, in my case, I have a 20 years experience in research, right? Right now, and I have around 90 people, right? But it's not good to publish paper when you are master degree, and then publish paper when you are PhD degree, publish paper when you are professor. It's still, you should do something different, right? Publishing the paper is undergraduate right now. Publishing, you have to do patent, you have to work for industry, right? You have at some level to do something implement commercial, right? Not just publishing paper. You spend all your time to just publish paper. It's not good. Really, it's not good. You have to go for industry. I mean, develop something to industry. You have to do your duty. Sometimes when you go to the people government, they say no, we will not go for this. It's okay, but you did your job, right? Recently, 2 years ago, we have a health crisis, and this is very important also topics. And before that, 2020, we don't have a health crisis. Some people are diabetic, some people have a cancer, and they can go here, there, and even most of our family members, most of the people have, especially the women, have a breast cancer, and they survive, and they go to home, go to kitchens, make the food, and it's fine, it's okay. And some other people also even have some cancer on some levels, they survive and they go travel here and where and everything. And even the most of the people, maybe I don't know, but more than 50 million people over the world have diabetic, and also they go to work and everything is okay. But after in the end of 2020, there's a serious pandemic. It's called coronavirus, and based on that, we have a serious health crisis because most of the country they close their border. Many people lost their job. Many people have been died from our relative. because of that crazy virus. And the problem is the scientists and the people working even in drug industry, they will not prepare themselves to that. They take around 2 years to develop some vaccine, and this is not good, not good at all. You have to be prepared always. You have to develop something, and in this area, there's all the people working in this, like climate change, all the people, literature, engineering, all the people working in science, even in literatures, in engineering, in mathematics, everything, because we need a vaccine. The people working in this area, in microbiology or biology, they work in this nanomedicine, and we need to develop the surface. I mean, like textile, mask, and so on, to be antiviral, right? There's a many things to do. Actually, there's a many things to do. So, what I believe, even I teach the young generation in Egypt, because I'm an active member in Egyptian Young Academy of Science. What we do is we have to our product, like you are right now, you are a master degree, right? And you are maybe just graduated, or you just so you are in the factory. And the factory, even what I'm always teaching my students is, our product is not a thesis at all. Our product is a student, is a scientist, is a young scientist, right? This is our product, because thesis we can do, paper we can do, even if you are undergrad. I have many students undergrad, they publish paper with me, even they publish book paper with me, book chapters even with me, and they're still undergrad, so it's okay. So publishing is not the objectives. The objectives is to develop some scientist, he able to upgrade himself to be in someday innovative person. Okay, so we have a 3 stage, and all of you, including me, we have to go through that stage. The first stage is building of scientific infrastructures. Means you are you are now finished your bachelor degree, and you have to learn many things. If you're going to work in chemistry, if you're going to work in water treatment, you have to building your scientific infrastructure, and this takes some time. It will take some time. Maybe it will take 2 years, 4 years. It depends on your capability and depending on the environment you are on, your professors, your colleagues, and everything. And then you have to, and usually the good people, they finish that between master and PhD. Okay, then you have to upgrading your scientific knowledge. Upgrading, it will be with you until you die. Until you die, still you learn, you read the papers, you learn something new, you learn some skills, still until you die. So building scientific infrastructure, it will take around from 2 years to 5 years until you finish PhD. Some people will finish before, during the PhD. Some people will reach to building scientific infrastructures after finishing the PhD. Some people will never build their scientific infrastructure at all, and they will retire and they don't know it, they ignore it at all. And there are many people over the world, they are in these people, so they just learn something, but they didn't really build the infrastructure. And then after some maturations, you will be able to make an innovative work. I mean, thinking out of the box, developing something. And this, the last stage, some people they reach this after PhD. Some people reach after getting the like 5 years after PhD. Some people get after 50 years. I mean, like in the age 50. Some people will become full professors. Some people will never get this stage at all. Okay, and in this case, then the innovation and development, then you are able at this point to develop something, to think in different way, to think in different angles, right? Because you have your own philosophy for doing research. You are not doing research to have some papers, right? And co-authors, and no, you are doing something valuable. Then really you'll do something will help the society. Because anyway, in the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us, what did you do? Where did you spend your time? Right? Because I'm Muslim like you. So I believe the scientists and the researchers over the world, they are responsible in front of God, to whom believe God, and responsible in front of community and society to secure the life of the coming generations from the serious crises they are coming, right? So when you are going when you are going to write your proposal, your research proposal, because writing the thesis will start from finding the idea. Yeah, I will teach you today some different strategy for writing the thesis, because when I have a student and the student just join my group, and we try to find some idea for him uh, to do the research. Now we're thinking about writing the thesis from this point. You are saying, oh, is this professor saying something crazy? No, this is truth. Because whenever he finds some papers, whenever he will do some screening to the point. So first of all, you have a scientific problems, like I believe the student, master students, they are responsible from 30 to 40% for from his thesis, and PhD from 60 to 70%. So suppose right now I have a student, and we say we want to do something, okay, and there should be some problem, right? uh, then we have to solve this problem, right? And if there's no problem, then we don't need to do research, right? So if there's some problems, there's some technical dilemma, so he have to first of all study the research problem, and study all the paper, and arrange all the paper in different file, and upgrade the papers starting from the problem initiated in the scientific academia until now, and doing some statistics about how many papers the people doing, how many papers the people working in this. Then study the paper, make C scheme. C scheme means collect, characterize, conclude. Means you just, for example, I will do some research about some in Scopus, for example. So I will say, for example, carbon nanotube for water treatment, right? For example. So in this case, you will find maybe 1,000 people, right? And not all of this 1,000 is related to your issue, because when you select the keyword, maybe the keyword become in the title of the paper, in the keyword, in the abstract, in the keyword, in the introduction abstract keyword something. So it will not be relevant. So you have to collect, then characterize, then cut what you don't need, then conclude. So maybe finally you have a 20 paper or 200 papers or something, right? Then propose idea, and they check the features. Like, I would like to use some gelatin nanofibers or something prepared by chemical oxidative methods, or I would like to use gelatin characterized with ketosane something. So you just check your idea. Maybe some other people in Pakistan, in India, and South Korea is working on or doing or just publish. You have to check if that idea published or not by searching the keyword. I will show you how to use a Scopus right now. Then you have to do a research plan. Write what you do in steps, and based until you reach to research plan, then you have all literature review chapters right now. And during all your thesis time, you only have to upgrade that. Listen carefully. Now, until you reach the fourth stage, means research plan, to write your research plan, what you have to do in steps, then you have now at least between 100 to 200 paper, starting from the beginning of this issue until today, right? And you have to arrange that in some files, right? And even you have to do some statistics for this also. And even every 2 months you have to just check the new paper. So maybe every 2 months or 3 months, new paper coming, or three paper coming, or five. Just add it, and now you have already the. And also, I suggest the student to write a review from his thesis. During working the thesis, you have to write, to read that work very well, and even you have to try to write some review article in this. Then he will understand it and digest the field correctly. Then you just have to upgrade every 2 months or 1 month, to upgrade what the paper comes up new paper, just, and add it to the list. So first of all, This is finding a search gap in details. This is just scientific problem and technical dilemma, search problems. This is just overview. This is big umbrella, right? I want to go in deeps. What we should do in reality, right? Because suppose some student he just undergrad or he just postgrad and he don't know how to do, right? First of all, you have to select the area, even water, energy, something different, and selection the topic. You are, if you want to work in energy, then you have to work in productions or storage or transportations or process in which kind. Even water, you have to work in water desalinations or water treatment, or suppose the area is water treatment, then I have to find out. Even I would like to work in photocatalytic degradations or adsorbent removal, which kind of things, right? Then selection the topic, then create some research questions. So, for example, you have to find, even if you want to work in water, right? You have to keep your eyes on something in reality. Like, for example, okay, there's some territory in Pakistan, and there's a big industry there, and these people working a production of cement, right? And there's a many wastewaters they released, right? And this containing heavy metals, and one of the main heavy metal is lead, for example. Then your target will be in lead because the toxicity of the lead, and because you have a big factory in your territory, and this factory is working 24 hours for 7 days and producing huge amount of toxic water containing some lead ions, right? Then you have to make a strategy to build your adsorbent based on strong acid, strong base, to only select lead ions. Okay, then create some questions. Did you find some good adsorbent in the water, in the literatures? If you find a good adsorbent and your question already answered, so no need for research. You have to refine your research question once more again, and check literatures. And if there's no clear answer in your questions, then this is your idea, and you have to put your plan. From where I have to write to your background, or your infrastructures, of your knowledge. Your knowledge, you have to have three sources, and that sources is very important. It's very important. First source is primary reference, is the books, and I don't recommend you to put much more book chapters, because book chapters the people cannot be accessed easier. Okay, it need different way. Okay, so you can put the book chapters, no problem, but just not more than 2% from your thesis reference. Suppose your thesis is 250 reference, for example, then you have around, five book chapters, two book chapters. Yeah, this is okay. From 2 to 5, maximum 5 is fine, but not 20, not 10 is not good, not good at all. Okay. Then we have a secondary reference, SSCI journals. And I mean SSCI journals means the journals which comes from journal citation report, which means reviewed and have some rank, and good people, good scientists publish in this paper, in these journals, and also good scientists review that journals, review the paper and the manuscript. Then the data is trustable, and only the big names in the field, in the of the world, they are publishing this journal. So, and the other reference is a website, and I don't recommend you to use it, even just 0.5% from your reference. For example, if you have a 200 reference, at least one. And please use the website, governmental website. Like, for example, if we're working in water, it means then you have to just get the URL of your website of United Nations or UNESCO, something, okay, and put the last access, like now July Today is 16 July 2023. This is the last access, okay? Because website today is working, tomorrow is not working. And if I'm access from Egypt and the website is in Pakistan, maybe due to some security issue, I cannot access, right? So please don't use it much. So this is, I would like just give me 1 second. Yes, this is the database you are using for the search. I recommend you to use. Maybe some people use Science Finder, some people use some other issue, but I would show you today how to use. I want to share. We want to do something. I mean, now some students come to my group and they say, Professor, I wanna do my master with you. Okay, fine, good boy, comes. Now we have to find some literatures, right? Right now we are building the data, the informations we have to put in the half of the thesis, because usually the thesis over the world have at least four chapters over the world. Mainly, some people change one or two more, but mainly 4 chapters. Introductions. Some other university make some introductions in literature survey. Some other university or country just combine the introduction with literature survey. Means introduction, but big introduction like 20 page or 30 page or something. Then experimental, second chapters. Then chapter number 3, result and discussion. Then chapter number 4 is conclusion or summary. Then the reference. Then you have, this is the main frame of thesis over the world. Some people, they say, okay, we need to just put one more even introduction. Some other people just say literature survey chapter number 2, then experimental chapter number 3, then result and discussion chapter number 4, then summary number 5, then 6 reference. Okay, then this is the main. So you have at least 2 chapters. It comes from the beginning, and you're doing from the beginning, and every 2 months just you're just upgrading the list what you have. Then, for example, I have one student and called Sajid, for example. Sajid told me, Dr. Atia, I want to work in water treatment because I'm come from the village and we have a shortage in waters, and I realized when I will become a scientist, I have to share my time so solving these problems. I say, good, I appreciate that. Then think about, okay, we want to work in sustainable absorbent, right? We want to develop sustainable and cost effective and sustainable adsorbent, okay, recycled or developed or derived from biowaste. So if we say food shell, food byproduct, for example, and wastewater treatment. Now, you have in your left side, you have a search within. You have an article title, abstract, keyword. Means if any of your keyword have been appeared in article title, abstract, keyword, then they will collect this paper, right? Or you have authors, first author, finding sponsor, and so on. So I prefer to use the article title, abstract, keyword. So for example, wastewater treatment, I would like to use something more specific. Graphene. You know what's the meaning of graphene sheet, right? We have, see, we have a 300, almost 300 paper, right? And now, how many articles? Just 250 47, and the conference review around 30, 39, and the review around 14 here. The document type, you can, and book chapter around 3. Did you see or not? If you want to differentiate between the type of document, right? Now, if you are working initial and you are just master student and you don't have anything, I recommend you to read at least 2 or 3 review on the topic. So in this case, we have a document type, okay? We have an article, 247. We have a conference review, 39 something. Forget about this. We have a 14 review, okay? So if we just limit it to review, we will see now the review. So frontier cellular, some minerals, some cleaner materials, journal of environmental management, pollutions, progress in chemistry, membrane. This is a kind of paper. And if we just go, just select only the article. So we have these articles, the existence of colloid ions in high salinity and so on. So I just write a graphene. But if we just, when we put here, absorption means right now I'm applying the C scheme. Right now we have a 311 documents, and I want to apply the C scheme. I want to find out the graphene sheet utilized in adsorbent for wastewater treatment, but in absorption. But once I just write the keyword graphene sheets and wastewater treatment, we find out 311 paper, right? So I want to collect, then I want to characterize. They just search within adsorption. Means I will select only, they will give me the only paper dealing with adsorption as a tools for the wastewater treatment. Just click, see what's going on. We have a 220. Okay? So, one more thing. This also too much paper, right? And wastewater treatment is a big umbrella, right? I want to work for removal of dyes or heavy metal removal, for example. Heavy metal removal, right? Then he will only give me the paper dealing with graphene as adsorbent for removal of heavy metals. Okay, let's see. 101. Also too much. I'm lazy guy. Too much. even I recommend you to read this paper, but still. But we will not work in heavy metal. Heavy metal is a big umbrella, right? So you come to my office, and your territory have a factory for production of cement, and that factory releasing wastewaters containing lead. So I will just say lead ion removal and see how many paper. See, 40 paper only. Now I apply the C scheme systematically. It take 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, 2 minutes, from 200 until 40 paper. And even the 50 paper, this 40 paper, you have to investigate one by one. And I guess, if you have to see here, you have only 34 articles and 5 review and 1 book chapters. And I recommend you to read the 5 review first. Okay? This is such a simple way how to do literature survey. And for example, I would like to tell you something very important. If you want to see, you want to work, because the supervisor is very, very important, especially for master degree and for PhD degree, because supervisor is teaching you and training you how to think and learning you how to find the good way. And also, he have a significant touch in the paper and even in the idea. And if that supervisor is not well educated, you will be also poor educated. So before going to any person, you have to make a search in the supervisor. It's very important. It's very important. Here, author search. You can find any person, any name. I do any name, just last name and find name. You can just find him. For example, I will just uh, give my name as example. Okay. Okay. What comes? Yeah. See here, it's mine, right? You can see here how is the quality of the paper, and see here, yeah, this is a recent paper, and the quality of the paper, how is the quality of the journals he published, and so on, and also how is the way of research, because it's not good if you are just going to professor, he's not working in water treatment, and you say, professor, I want to join your lab because I want to work in water treatment, and he's not working in water treatment. This means you don't have the fundamental thinking at all. First of all, you have to go and search in the professor. He's working in this idea or not. He's working in and he has a new idea and releasing good paper or not. Then you have to decide. Oh, I will go for the professor. For my view, it's better to find out even five professors and make a list and see this five professor working in the water treatment and arrange from 1 to 5. Then you have to approach the first one. Then if he's busy, doesn't have time, and so on, then go to second one, and so on. This is a good strategy for doing research and for learning. Because if you just want to have a master degree and you didn't understand and you didn't learn well, is nothing. Is nothing. Even dunya and akhirah. Okay, let's go back to the lectures. Okay, so now this is the literature survey. This is the Thesis scheme. I already show you by the reality how to use the Thesis scheme. Thesis scheme means the article found. Actually, you have to change the keyword different times, because I told you the paper will come to you if the keyword is exist in the article title or keyword or abstract. Then you have sometimes we see heavy metal absorptions. Sometimes the wastewater treatment is not exist in the title or even in the abstract. Then you have to change different keyword, right? So you have an article found, and we now show graphene sheets and wastewater treatment. We find more than 300 articles, and we collect 300. Then make a automatically characterize. Then now down the search, now down until conclusion, until we have a 40 paper, right? Almost you can say 10% or 20%, and it's easy for you. And including that 40 article, there is a 34 original research paper and 5 review and 1 book chapters. And the book chapter is not important to read right now. But if you are new in the area, you have to go for the review. Then you have to go for the original research. And you download that research paper and you arrange that research paper based on the year and based on the journals, and even read, and even you decide from the now which section you have to use it in your thesis. It's very important. This is very, very important. And you have to do statistics diagram, Excel sheets, and even every 2 months you have to increase this issue. For example, you collect around 100 paper, 120 and something. Then this is the base for you to write the introduction and the literature survey chapters, because the results and discussion is your own, and I will show you how to do it now. Yeah, this is actually definitions of the search point. First of all, technical dilemma you want to see. Then you have to make a definitions to understand that this means you have to read all the previous work done in this area. You have to read at least, if you want to work in graphene sheets utilize in lead ions removal, then you have to read this 40 article found. Okay, understand everything, and also scientific configuration means understand the weakness and the strengths and asking questions is very, very important. To ask questions, attend webinar like this way, attend free conference, even you can pay for just free, cheap conference webinar. Learn, because learning, you cannot learn by yourself, it's very hard. You have to ask questions. You have to, don't be shy to ask any person. Even if you just attend some event and there's a Nobel laureate professor, ask him. He will be happy to answer you. Okay? Then propose the idea and make your hypothesis and check, make verification of the idea. Verification of the idea means I have to go for literature survey once again. Then you have to do literature survey twice. In the beginning, to make a scientific configuration of the idea and the topic and the issue what you're gonna do, to understand the weakness and the strengths of this area. And then after you put the proposal of your idea, you have to check if anybody did this work or not, because you are not working alone. It's the universe. There's many people working. From the I start the lecture around 6, right? 6 Egyptian time, and then now I don't know now what time now. Yeah, around 7 or something. There are them 100 papers even published in wastewater treatment. This time only from all over the world, because there's a big competitions between all the people working in this area. Okay, so usually I prefer, in my way, the student to publish paper fast before writing the thesis, because it will help him much, because he will practice in writing. In the thesis, scientific problems or technical dilemma, I told you before, you have to make a definitions, means reading all the previous work done, and this make a scientific configurations of the field, means you have to understand the weakness and the strengths by ask questions. You have to ask the questions. Then you have to propose some idea, make hypothesis. Then you have to make a verifications of the idea by checking literatures. Means then you have to go to Scopus to twice. The first one to get some infrastructure, some knowledge, some update, reading that one, understand everything. Then when you propose some idea, then you have to go again to the Scopus to see is that have been done or not, if that have been done or not. Okay, so how to present your data. Now I told you before, but it was not working. The issue is you are hearing me or not?
So
You are
we're
hearing me or
listening.
not?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I recommend you to publish your paper before your thesis. And I recommend you to give much attention to your thesis, because you will have only 2 theses in your life. You will not have not more than 2 theses in your life, but maybe you will have more than 100 paper in your life. Okay, so in my case, for example, I have only 2 theses, master thesis and PhD thesis, right? But in paper, I have more than 90 papers, right? But and it will be more, inshallah. So please give much attention to your thesis, and because it will be forever, and you will not repeat again. Because when you will finish, you will do some not good work in the thesis, and later on, when you see, oh, how much I was crazy, I was so stupid. Why I did like this? Because you are in hurry. You give your attentions, and I recommend you to publish the data before writing the thesis. And when you publish your paper before writing the thesis, means you have done almost more than 60% of the thesis writing. Because, for example, I told you, I give one example for Sajid student. He joined my group. He want to work in water treatment using lead. So once he joined and once he do the literature survey, we proposed one idea based on one dimension nano absorbent material. So, for example, we have a title like for fabrications of cost effective and efficient one dimensional based efficient adsorbent for lead ion removal, for example. Okay, and we publish one paper on this, and this fine. Then second issue in this one, we think, okay, we use cellulose nanocrystal, for example, and this cellulose nanocrystal extracted from the cellulose, from natural cellulose, for what at this one dimension. So what about the two dimensions? Then we extracted some graphene sheets from leaves or something, and we developed, so like engineering fabrications or fabrication or engineering fabrications of 2D based adsorbent for or reusable adsorbent for uh, cleaning wastewater from lead ions, for example, and we publish that one. Then you will take the first one dimension as a section one in the result and discussion, and the other one section two, and you have to copy the result and discussion from your paper as a first section, and copy and that one and second sections. Okay. Then finally you finish your result and discussion, and the lectures or introduction sections, it will be as I told. I will tell you right now. Now you have in your paper you have introduction, experimental, result discussions, and conclusions, right? So I will give you how to write introductions in paper first, and then how to write introduction in thesis. In paper, your introduction have to have at least 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph is a general overview about the topic, about water treatment and the shortage of the waters and blah 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 and many things. Right? Then about the importance of the topic. Importance of the topic of what? Of the absorption. You have to just give one sentence. There's a many approach have been utilized for removal of wastewater or removal of organic pollutant or pollutant generally from the water, and you have to focus in the absorption, and because absorption is a cost effective, energy efficient, blah 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 blah. Then you have, then the third paragraph is you have to present potential results, potential reported results. Means potential means good journals, paper published in good journals. Okay. Then finally you have to summarize what you did in your work. Okay. In the thesis, if you are belong some university and that university have some style, is have only one chapters as called introduction chapters, and that introduction chapters including the literature survey. Then you have to give a general overview about the topics. In this case, you have to enrich your general overview with some pictures from internet or from your real, from just some other places in your country or territory or some other of internet. Then you have to give all the approaches have been reported to make a mitigations of the wastewater issue. Means you have to present in 2 or 3 pages about all the approaches: absorption, separations, photocatalytic degradations, all the everything. Then after that, you have to give, or if you are working in nano adsorbent, then you have to present all the nano materials have been utilized in the absorption, all the nanomaterial. Then in the end, you have to focus a little bit about the types of material you have been used in your thesis. Okay. Then finally, you have to report all the literature's potential work in the last 10 years. Very important. Last 10 years means now we are 2023, right? Then you start from 2013. Not more than this. Okay? Then you have to present the potential results and make a tables, make a schematic diagram, make some statistics. You have to show. You have to do some effort. Okay? Then finally, you have to make some objective of your thesis in 1 page. Then finally, I would like to do that. This my objectives is the aim of the work in the end of the introduction. The introduction generally should be from 20 to 15 page. That would be enough. Nowadays, the people doesn't go for high, big thesis. Not good. Yeah, you have to make a big fast. Then you have to shorten to be 15 to 20 page. Is too much. Become is good. Experimental. Now, are you hearing me now or not? Are you hearing me or not?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
we are
yes, we are
hearing you.
hearing, sir.
Okay. Now I will give you the experimental in paper and in thesis. In paper, you have experimental. Then experimental should be three sections, three main sections. The first sections you have to give the materials, and you have to give the source of the materials, the company, even the street of the company, because this is very important, because some other people, I'm from Egypt right now, and I have a very good paper published in chemical engineering journal from some colleagues from Pakistan, and I wanna build my new idea based in the material he developed. Then you develop material will be blank for me, so I will try to use the same material with the same purity, and I say, so please give that in details. Okay. Then for methods, for senses or something, if you, if it is new, original, and your own method, I recommend you, I strongly recommend you to make a schematic diagram representing the senses process. And if it's not yours, or you modify based on some other people, you have to give a reference and you have to highlight what did you do. Okay. Then characterizations in the paper. I'm saying in the paper. You have to put all the characterizations tools you have to use, even to characterize the material, or even in the applications. Okay? For thesis, the story will be different. For thesis, you have to, in material sections, you have to give some pictures. For example, if you are make a processing for graphene from some leaves, or you have make a processing of cellulose nanocrystals from waste clothes, for example, you have to give a big pictures, and you have to show something in about the materials. And if you bought the material from somewhere and bought portable, show some pictures. This is very important in your thesis. Okay. And the methods, you have to take some video or some pictures from the lab, this evidence, and also showing in the PowerPoint defense is very important. And for the characterizations also, and even for the characters, you have to give a pictures of all the instrument you have been used in your thesis, and even in the lab you have to give pictures of the lab, even because this is good evidence. Because sometimes, and even if you are doing transmission electron microscope or doing DLS or something, take pictures when you are sitting with the operators. You are now giving a message to the reviewer that you are did your work by yourself. Because nowadays there's a crazy cheating. Some people give some money to other people do some work, or some people working in some group, like he just only do one experiment, and some other, and the one who will graduate this year's X, then X will be the first authors, and even X don't know how to do the other process, and this is the result will be ignorant scientist, because he don't know about the other process. He know only about one item, IR doing something, this only. So please do take a pictures of all the applications during you doing application in your thesis. Take good quality pictures. That's why you don't need camera now. You have your cell phone. Cell phone do everything. When I was a student in PhD, my professor, he was a German. He suggests me to put camera to archive that issue. It's very important. Okay, then and take some pictures and put the pictures of the instrument, and put the pictures of you when you are doing your experiment. You characterize your material, and it's very very important. And also will be forever. Even when you become full professor after 20 years or something, and you see your thesis, oh my God, I was using that instrument. It's very important. This is history actually. Okay, so okay. Result and discussions. I told you, if you didn't publish your paper before writing the thesis, the issue will be a little bit difficult, because you have to construct your result and discussions, and you have to interpret your data. You have to divide several sub branch, and you have to interpret, present, and highlight your work using some schematic diagram, using some good pictures. You have to use some scales. You have to use some program. You have to give some effort. Don't put just. For example, I will tell you something. if you are preparing right now, if you are preparing some nanomaterials, for example, some silver nanoparticles or any nanoparticles, okay, and this is one of you or polymer nanoparticles or doing cellulose nanocrystal from the extractions, then first of all you have to optimize the process. Then you will get different dimensions. Then means you have a different TM image. Then you have to do different histogram figures. Then finally you have to do correlations between the condition of the process and the diameter of the size. You have to give some effort. My meaning is to have to just not only just put and blah blah blah. No, no, no. You have to do something. That's why I'm saying in the good scientist, he have a group meeting. Means every 1 month just have his student, and each student he have to present the progress of his work. Then they can give some idea. You have to do this. This is good. You have to do this. This is good, and so on. So you have to discuss in depth and also compare your data with others. This is very very important issue in your work because we are working in science, right? And right now I'm working in Egypt, and you're working in Pakistan. Some other people working in Saudi Arabia, so right. So I just develop right now, for example, I use some nano absorbent for wastewater treatment, and I have some efficiency, and I have some also maximum uptake capacity. Then I have to show where I am among the others. Even I have a superior results, and I have to give a reasons, or I have inferior results, and I have to give a reasons, or I'm average. It's very important. It's very very important. Conclusion. This is very important. Conclusion will be same even in thesis or in paper. Also have to you have to highlight what is the new in this study, because thesis is a study, paper is a study also. You have to give why this result is good, why is this result is good. You have to highlight the paper, the results in number, because science means number, means measurement, and you have to give reasons why this. And finally, you can give recommendations. But I recommend you recommendation should be not in conclusion. Some people just try to put recommendations in conclusion. Some people in the thesis, I mean, some people just put in the end of the result discussion. But for thesis, I recommend you to put in the conclusion. Last section as a recommendation means conclusion and recommendation. Only in thesis. This is just simple examples about some smart nanocomposite material and how to show these materials in better way or better approach. And this is just sustainable materials using monochia extract to develop some hybrid nanoparticles. And this is greenhouse effect mitigations. And this is natural gas upgrading. And now I'm finished. And I will be happy to answer you if any one of you have a questions.
We would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Noor for delivering an enlightening and captivating talk on effective research strategies for thesis writing. If anyone have a question, please raise your hand. Then we will able to allow you to ask question one by one. Sir, I have a question
Please ask.
that how to reduce the gap between our laboratory research and the industries.
This is very important questions. Actually, if you are doing like this, you have to put as a scientist. You have to do first of all. We are teaching the student, undergraduate student, to have a field trip, even in undergrad and in postgrad. Means we have to go the student to see how with the scalable process of the issue you are doing in the lab, right? And when you are doing in the lab, you don't have the problems coming in the scalable amount. Then you have to always be contact with the industry people, see what their needs, always review what they seek. Then you will think from the angle of looking, because we are the science academia, we are looking only from our now angle. Means I want to use my materials on only milligram scale. Yeah, for water, for example, or maximum gram. But in the industry, the issue is not like that. The grams, the industry in the ton. So the production, because if he process in just only grams, he will not be beneficial for him. So you have to, when you just multiply the materials and the what, because the issue used in your lab or the process used in lab for milligram scales is not beneficial for gram scales or kilogram scales or ton scales. So I think you have to be adhered with the industry needs and apply, for example, for the calls, and even don't look in your feet. Oh, I have to get that guard. No, at least you have to understand what they need, because right now over the world, the industry have some calls, specific calls, because they have some shortage, and you have to apply. Then at least you have to train yourself, apply, then you fail, then apply until you reach to some levels. Then you look from there an angle of looking.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Say what are the tips to write discussions portions of the thesis, because it is a more difficult part of thesis, right up for students. Yes, I think I explain now, because you have to first of all, for my recommendations, you have to write, to make a thesis as a partitions, part one, part two, and you have to publish your paper first, then try, because in papers we only put the good results, but in thesis you have to put all the results, all the trial. And even I recommend the student to put even the good, not good trial in support informations in the paper. So if you just try to, because to write a thesis, then finally to publish some paper from the thesis is not good. But to make a, because the thesis should be some subunit come together, become a thesis. Then you have to make all subunit as an individual paper. Then it will be easier for you to make a complementary file for the paper first. Then after that, copy and paste the result and discussion sections to your thesis as a part one, for example, part two, part three, and so on. It based on you. Some people have 6 parts, means publish 6 papers in the thesis. Some people have only 2, but will have 1. It depends on you. So I recommend you to just divide the thesis to some sections, and each section should be 1 paper. So means should be complementary. Means you did senses, you did characterizations, you did applications, you did everything. This will be easier for you. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Some person ask quite questions, Iman, about artificial intelligence help in writing thesis. Yeah, it's I see this is good, but I don't recommend that at all, because the artificial intelligence will not give the knowledge to your mind. Yeah, you can use it, but if you are expert, actually, I will tell you one truth: the artificial intelligence will help only the expert people, will not help the beginner people at all, because the beginner, you don't know, because this is stupid. I mean, the system, he will just write something, some survey or some page or something, and you don't know, if you don't know it's good or not, the meaning is good or not, or the meaning conveys the same meaning you want or not, it will not be good. But the expert people, the artificial intelligence will help them much, because they know just give an order, then they refaces this issue again, so it will be much beneficial for them. But for the beginning, no, you have to mainly depend in your mind, in your understanding, in your way, because you will not improve your writing style from one time. You have to train yourself, means writing, then give to your supervisor, then he will modify, and they will ask you how to modify, because sometimes in the thesis we have to use some time tense, especially for the abstract, and for even for way, or I'm not asking about the English even, but but even the vocabulary, because sometimes you use some word, but this word is not popular in scientific meaning. It could be popular in the street. So you have to train yourself. And later on, you can use artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence will help only the expert. Any questions or comment?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you well.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right that I found even ChatGPT generating some of the very bizarre and wrong answers related to my research work. Actually, I want to ask you regarding the submission of the paper in the journal. Particularly, I'm working on adsorption of pesticides and herbicides on the surface of graphene and other 2D nanomaterials. But one
Okay.
of the questions that I've been coming up with is the selection of a particular journal. Like I don't know which journal is relevant to me and which one is not, and how to publish the work in that journal, because my supervisor is busy while doing something else in his life, and I've been staring down the barrel since for 3 to 4 year 3 to 4 months rather. And my patience right at the moment like going down the tubes, and I cannot wait anymore to publish the paper. As I'm actually planning to go abroad, and that is something which is really very important, like to have any kind of publication. So right at the moment I'm just like a flummoxed at the moment, and I'm just waiting for someone to publish my paper, because as a undergraduate student I couldn't found any journal, and somewhere I couldn't actually understand the requirements of that journal.
Okay, I got your point actually. Actually, selection of the journal is very, very important. Actually, it depends on the experience, because sometimes you have a good data, and you go for the wrong uh, journals, and the wrong journals will, even if you are lucky, he will send to the reviewer, but his reviewer pool including from different angle, so you will not understand the good achievement of your work, and finally your paper will be rejected. And even when you just submit the paper to higher impact factor journal, it will be published. So the issue is, now you understand, now you have to understand what is the message. The message is based the new census process, or the message about the application of pesticides or removal of some pesticides. What is the message? If your message about the food or application is going to, you have to make a removal of the pesticides or something from the industry, or your message is about agriculture's wastewaters or generally wastewaters. So it should be some message from you. If you are new work or novelty in the development of the materials, this means you are going to material science journals and material science absorption. If you are emphasize enriching your paper with some kinetics and some many factors and mechanism and so on, then I recommend you to go for the wastewater journals. And all of this should be, first of all, the work is qualified enough to go for SSI journals or not. If the work is qualified to go for this, then you have a Journal of Water Process Engineering, you have a Chemosphere, you have a Journal of Environmental Chemical Engineering, you have environmental pollutions, you have a many journals actually. You have a surface interface if you are dealing with the absorptions. A surface interface also will help much. Um, you have applied surface science. You have a many high impact factor journals. And if your work is mainly based on your develop some hybrid materials and polymer something, then you can go for applied polymer science or polymers or uh, some polymeric journals, because this is I told you, nobody can I cannot imagine from now. If I want to give you the correct answer, I have to see the paper, or at least I have to write to read the abstract. Then I can help you where is the correct choice for you, because these steps will help you much to save the times. Because you have to, first of all, if you are going to go abroad, then you have to be the first authors. you have to be the first author of the paper. It's very important. And I wish you good luck. I wish you good luck to find some suitable journal for your paper. But you have to sit down and think, what is the message from your paper? Is the message is the efficient or cost effective synthesis methods? Then you go for material science, or the absorption phenomena and the mechanism and blah blah blah, or agriculture's applications, or food applications, or what is the issue exactly. Then you can find good journal, because sometimes if you go for wrong journals, it will not be beneficial for you. And sometimes also the journals it change their scope and the strategy every month, so you have to have a look. And also, I would like to tell you something very important, because you are new and students, and maybe you didn't have co-author publication before, so it will be very hard for you. So your supervisor should submit the paper by himself. It's very important. Or some other colleagues who working with you, and he has a okay number and he has a good publications, because this is very important, and they give some message to the editor that the person who is responsible for the paper, he already published paper before and he know what he's doing. Yeah, this is very important. I hope my answer is clear for you.
Yes, sir, very much clear. But one of the very prominent question that we comes up with is like the cost of the journal. Actually, I work as supervisor who is actually member of particular societies or member of any institute, like has got some financial aid to go get into that kind of publication or that journal, what a student isn't supposed to have. Like I don't have any kind of financial aid available, and supervisor had that kind of curry favor in some style.
I understand your point. Actually, there's a two way of journals. There's a journal publish subscriptions, so you don't need to pay any money. Okay, and since that some journals they have to pay money, open access. They called open access. In your case, you don't have fund, right? So you don't go for the open access journals. Just go for subscription journals. And when you go to the home page of the journals, you will see there's subscriptions and there's the open access. Open access, then you have to pay at least more than $3,000 per paper, and this is so much money. Okay, subscriptions is free, but the competition will be much higher. I mean, yeah, actually, the issue is complicated. I understood, but the issue, you have to go. In my case, I never publish in open access journals. I only get good invitations for open access journal to publish my paper free of charge. I suffer to publish my paper, and even all the scientists, whenever any scientist, even Nobel rate, he never get his paper published from the first times. It's rejected and again and again and again. Okay, and you have to fight, but you have to go for subscriptions. So there's a millions of journal subscriptions wise. So means you will not pay any money. Any money. There's a mini journal Elsevier, RCC, SES, Wiley, Springer, Taylor and France, Springer. There's a mini subscription support journal and the mini hybrid journal. Hybrid means it's published open access and subscriptions. And you go for subscriptions. You are a student. You don't have financial support. So it doesn't matter. You have to have money. Because
Okay.
the money for paper is too much. Is some journals have $3,900
Yes, sir,
per
exactly.
paper, and this is too much money. You cannot afford. Okay,
Yes,
go
sir.
for subscriptions.
I even cannot afford that kind of money. One last question, please.
Okay, please.
Like, I want to ask you that what the criterias of a paper to be published in Nature or JX? Uh, I haven't seen any Pakistani professor getting his paper done in Nature or JAX, while I have seen some Malaysian professors, some Chinese even. And like, how can I do that? Because back then when I was planning my research work, I was actually had a question in my mind that would I would be able to publish my paper in Nature or JAX, like any prestigious journal. So my supervisor and even my friend used to say that I cannot actually, and I have to develop kind of novelty in my paper. I don't think so. Like, every student that is actually doing his research work is novel than the one which like has been published yet, has been done by some other, like, not really very much, but in some extent that should be a novel one. And why isn't not like suitable to be published in Nature or Jax? Like, every kind
Okay,
of work is novel. Without
I
novelty,
understand.
you won't be able to publish in any of the journal, whether it's low ranked or high ranked. So that's
I
the
understood your point. I understood your point, and I will tell you the story actually. Jax, it's okay. You can publish paper on Jax, but actually Jax is need much more discussions. Yeah. For example, if you just doing some work, generally this is a concept generally, and also all the mature scientists know this story actually, or know this truth. If you are working in some work and you have a fast paper quickly because you have fun or you are doing something, then you will just mix out the work and don't do much interpretations. Means you just use 3 or 4 or 5 compositions for tools and to characterize your work. Okay, but if you just give more dips in discussions and use other tools, different tools like 10 or 15 tools to confirm the data and the results, and to confirm the mechanism and so on, then you will go at least 5 more impact factors. Like you can publish this paper in the 5 impact factor journals, and if you do the more additional work, you will go for 10. Okay, because you just give more insightful informations. For Jax publish the good papers, but mainly Jax. If you look to the Jax, you will see only the because they trust, because right now in you are in Pakistan, right, and you showing you just do some good work, and you use around 15 instrument. Okay, but I don't trust Pakistan has this copy of this instrument, one of them. Even if you do, some of your colleagues do in South Korea or in Japan or somewhere, but the affiliation of your friend is not there, then he have some doubt, because they know there's some instrument, they know how many copy over the world. Okay, the editor know very well how many copy of that instrument or that techniques over the world. And if you do one your friend do some help for you because he is your friend and so on, then you are cheating yourself. Okay, so means you can see in Jax 2 or 3, at least 3 affiliations, 3 different affiliations, means 3 different groups for the Jax. But Jax it can be done actually in Pakistan, or it can be done anywhere. No problem. No problem for Jax at all. If you fight, you can find out. But for nature is completely different. Nature, they will not trust any person at all. You will not get your paper published if you don't have nature before, or you have a Nobel laureate. This is completely truth. If you are very good group, publish many paper on Jax, publish many things, but you don't have a strong people person in your paper, Nobel laureate or well-known paper person, he already published before natures, you will not get natures. Forget about it. So it doesn't matter about the country. It matters about the name of the person, because Nature journal is a very big journal and trustable from all the people, and they care much about the data, because he's not coming to your lab to see you did it or not. He just trusts you, right? He just trusts you. Or any journal, he trusts you. If you are cheating, he don't know. So Nature paper, they check the data carefully and investigate carefully, and all nature paper it take almost 1 year For review process, first round, second round, third round, fourth round, until 8, 10 round of revisions. And big name, trustable name means no value or person he published in nature before. So if you are group now three
Sir,
or four,
excuse me, sir.
okay,
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
time is finished.
The meeting will be end up in 5 minutes.
Okay, now I'm finished. I think my answer is clear to you, Ali, right?
Yes, sir. It's very much clear to me. Now the meeting is ending.
Ladies and gentlemen, at IM Group of Researchers and Review Hub, we are dedicated to fostering vibrant community of young researchers where ideas thrive and aspirations are realized. Today we had the privilege of hosting an international webinar on effective research strategies for thesis writing with Dr. Noor Atia. His insightful talk for researchers worldwide shedding light on the exciting possibilities and methodologies in the field. We extend our gratitude to Dr. Noor Atia for his invaluable contribution and sharing his expertise with us. We would like to express our gratitude to our esteemed audience for their active participation and engagement. We invite each and every one of you to become a part of a growing community of researchers. Thank you for joining us today, and
Okay,
we
bye.
look forward to future collaborations and exciting endeavors. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.